Well, hello. It is dropped kickoff time once again, and we are here to talk about this crazy thing called the November Internationals, the Spring Tour, the Autumn Nations Series, whatever you want to call it in whatever part of the world it is. This is the time to talk about the end of year rugby internationals. I'm Nick. I'm currently fighting off a cold, which is kind of funny now that I'm in fact hosting this episode, which is kind of hilarious. But I have Mr. Nathan Williamson with me and a certain gentleman who has once again gotten injured playing netball. Nick Hartman, what happened this time?
I just used my shoulder. That's it. I used my
used
shoulder.
it.
Very old man injury. Yeah, and I had already injured it. They're calling it the subluxation of my shoulder, which means the ball went out and came back in. And I felt like this rip the first time I didn't. All I did was stretch out my hand. And I just did something like that again, and I heard and it didn't hurt as much. So it kind of hurts when I stretch to my top right. You know, like if if I'm trying to do a certain salute, but pointing to my left.
Hey.
Yeah.
Thank God your camera's off.
Yeah.
Yeah, subluxes are the worst. Subluxes are the worst. But I will say, if there is ever, as one small positive to put a bad spin on a shit situation, there is no better feeling in this world than when it goes back in.
Yeah, well, it went back in immediately. It just went boop, like that. So yeah, anyway, I got an MRI scanned. I was thinking of wearing my giant metal chain, but they said no.
Sad. That's frustrating.
Yeah.
Mr. Williamson, how are we feeling now that you had several heart attacks over the weekend? Has your heart rate returned to normal somewhat? Or are we just now... We're now into the shit show. I remember last year when we bullied you about being like, oh, he can't put sentences together and can't pronounce RVR instead of Aviva. But now I'm with you on the 12 a.m. press conferences and the 1 a.m. press conferences. So how are you doing?
Well, I'm doing fine. I mean, the reality is you've been in it for, 9 days and already losing your voice? That took me at least a month to break it out. Get better. Push through it.
I love it.
How am I feeling after the 19-15 win over Japan? I think we had expectations of let's blow them away, but when it got to the 60th or 70th minute, it was just like, please hang on. And a win's a win. A win's as much we wanted to see because it was absolutely sweep Japan. Firstly, Japan were always going to target this game over anything else. They were always going to come out. This is their grand final. We played a B-side. The reality is everyone can look at a win and just be like, we rested players. It's a win. We don't care. If we had lost to Japan, holy shit, we would be so fucked right now. There'd be significant pressure on the Wallabies right now. And essentially whatever's been building over the last 12 to 18 months would have been jack shit. So yeah, that win was crucial. Now it's kind of onto the big boys. Now onto the European leg of this without our European players. It's great.
Which is a lot of fun. Mr. Hartman,
hello.
You were not in fact in our instant reaction. You had life and things happening. It'd be good to get your thoughts on this Japan game and the whole situation. What were you collectively shitting yourself?
I was at a party and I actually stopped being at the party and watched it on my phone. Yeah. So yeah. Well, I've got a side hustle, boys.
What a lot.
So it might not surprise you, but I don't remember a whole lot from the game. I just kind of remember Japan playing actually pretty well. Their defense was amazing. I remember us not passing it to our outside back. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see my little tagline today is outside back. Because I couldn't really think of anything, but I was thinking of backs who never saw the bloody ball on the weekend. And the third thing I thought about was why do we keep keep going to contestable high balls when we can't fucking win the things. Again, it's like kicking in general. It's like we have two sports. That's all they do is contest high balls, and yet we're the worst at it. Someone like Argentina have figured it out, and we're like, look, we'll get around to it. So those are the couple of things that stood out to me. Shout out to Paul Cully, a boy in Dunedin with all the right takes, who I can just nick from and seem intelligent, because I think he kind of nailed it with his kind of point about how buggered the Wallabies would be. They're, correct me if I'm wrong, Nathan, 11 tests in?
Yeah.
This year?
Yeah.
So far?
Yeah.
And Japan was the first, quote unquote, well, like relatively easy team. Because it's been Fiji with their French players, British and Irish Lions, South Africa away, Argentina, New Zealand. So, yeah, they would have been stuffed. And actually, I think it says a lot that they kind of came away with winning that game and also led at halftime, which was nice. And, didn't come out strong in the second half. But, anyway, I just think, it's... I'm just thinking, maybe actually should go, we're happy with that kind of performance. Although I saw, funnily enough, someone go, that was Japan's closest ever game with Australia. Think about that. Yeah. Just can't be positive for once.
But what trophy did they get for
that? Savage. Yeah. Look, also, I was just personally happy that I needed us to beat Eddie. I just needed Eddie to fucking lose. And the reason why is for the last decade, pretty much since he took up the England gig, no matter the circumstances, no matter the situations, when it's ever been anything involved with Eddie and Australia, we've lost. There was the 3-0 series loss to the Wallabies in 2016. Same thing in 2022 when it was a 2-1 loss with Dave Rennie in charge. Then 2023, Cheika gets his revenge on Eddie as as coach of Argentina. We're the ones who lose out again. So I would not have been able to stomach Eddie winning a 10th victory over the Wallabies. It would have killed me.
Yeah. Crazy fucking thing to say. Shout out to the guy who called him a traitor. You have been vindicated.
He won. Him and Tom Dayson are the two biggest winners out of all this.
Yeah, now he's been promoted to chief sports writer, I think.
Shout out the pregame on Stand, by the way, for having Tom Decent intro it with talking all the smack.
That's so funny. And also shout out to the Japanese captain who looked like Jake Paul with his little Padawan rat tail as well.
Just that. And also shout out to Era. Yeah.
How do we miss this in our post-match reaction? Fuck.
Yeah. I was just thinking, who the fuck is this guy? Jesus Christ. Get out of here.
But look, either way, a win is a win. We take it away, and we are now in Europe. The players are currently in London. They're prepping for this game against England, and I think now it's time for us to kind of do a bit of a chat about these next 4 games. Critical in the context of the next couple of years for the Wallabies. There is a World Cup calculations that will be decided after these November internationals. There will be decision-making, ranking, organization, that sort of thing. And it puts us in a very interesting position. I think we need to we're probably going to have to get the calculator out, Nathan. It's math time. It's the math pod once again. And so it's time to kind of talk about... Yes, I know. Calculations time. Serious question, though, lads. England, Italy, Ireland, France... I think the fundamental question we probably want to answer in this podcast is, what does success look like out of this tour? We're 1 from 1 at the moment. And I think, Nathan, I'll throw it to you first. What does success look like here for the Wallabies?
Starts with a win over Italy. Just has to. We can't afford another slip up like that. Well, that kind of what derailed 2023, in my opinion, was the loss in 2022. That's a turning point in Australian rugby that's not talked about enough, is how much that game actually influenced things of the fact that we lost Italy in that last couple of minutes. To beat them is a must. And then get a scalp like England, France, or Ireland. Like, England's going to be the one you want because it's England. And it happened last year. But, God, we've been close over the past couple of years to a France and Ireland scalp. Like, I think it was 10-0 up last year. Maybe a 3-point loss in 2022, I want to say, against the French, with no confidence whatsoever. Like, we've been in these games.
I think it was less than that. I think it was like 1 point.
Yeah. Like, I just think I remember having a maul inside that 22 that could have won the game, and we just couldn't get over the line. So, like, we've been close to these teams the entire time. So, I'm saying a scalp of one of those 3 teams, like, that's got to be what success looks like. Because also, and doing the maths, I think that's enough for a top 6. That should be enough. Like, Argentina, if Argentina can just drop at least 1 or 2 of their games, then we should be fine. So that's what I reckon. We've got to beat Italy, take a scalp for not only top 6 ranking, but for us to properly say, all right, we're here.
It's a good question. I think you're absolutely right. I reckon 3 out of 5. We expect a win against Japan. We got it. We need a win against Italy. That gives us 2. So really landing a big scalp here. Funnily enough, and I know you kind of mentioned everyone wants Twickenham. I think I'm personally more hungry for a France or Ireland victory, just because it's been a little while, but also because I also think
their anthems are just much better than ours.
No, it's not. Mate, don't knock the theory unless you come back with something better. My thoughts are, this game this weekend, I reckon, is the hardest for us to win, simply because we don't have access to the likes of your Hoopers, your James O'Connors, your Will Skeltons. It's probably the hardest one to win. Whereas, considering how close we've been against France and Ireland over the last couple of years, with those players available, I think we're much more of a shot of winning that match. Hartman, what are your thoughts?
Well, Joe Schmidt leaves at the end of this tour. Is that correct?
No.
And at next rugby championship.
No, that sounds like something Squidge said. No, it's in fact
one of Squidge says. Yeah,
one of the
swing and a miss, unfortunately, guys.
Yeah, so your analysis was well-meaning, but there was some stats.
Well, where are the facts? Where are the facts?
The facts are that Joe departs after there's 3 tests next year, which is the New Nations Championship. Joe will be the coach for that period, and then after that, he hands over to Les.
Right. So we haven't talked about the Scotland game either. I'm joking. Squidge also said.
Well played.
I'm joking. What does success look like? Yeah, we don't want to lose to Italy, but at the end of the day, I don't really think this matters. I think we should take the French approach and try out new combos. I think it was interesting the weekend Paisami and Fluke played together because they played there for the Reds. Correct? I haven't watched Reds. But they're both Reds. So I think that's what I would want to see trialed out. So one thing is you probably want to see the Samoan Chieftain start all the games. It'll be interesting for him to watch him again play without Ikitau and see how much his hand's being held. Although Kellaway's playing, so we'll also see Kellaway's index finger. Let's see that action when he's looking at Swiley. Stand there, do this, do that. Which he's kind of been shepherding him all year. It's been funny to see. So that's what I would want to see out of this tour the most is kind of blooding and doing all that stuff. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. You know, it's been a long season. We're going over to Ireland to play Ireland and, you know, France. And yeah, I think beat Italy. And something I'd like is we get into that second bracket of for the rankings for the Rugby World Cup. Those are the two things.
The top bracket. The top bracket. Yeah, because like that's when you say these games don't matter. These games, like, there's a contradiction there. 'Cause we need to win these games to get in that top 6. Otherwise, our group for 27 could be pretty cooked. So,
well, okay. When I say it don't matter, I'm not like dying on beating these teams, except in that fashion. If we get over the line in terms of ranking points, lose the rest of the games, I don't care.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I mean. You know. So actually,
And
Nathan, I am logically consistent.
And also the reality is, like,
Idiot.
we could go through this entire process, have like a stellar. I'm just ignoring you. Have a stellar spring tour, finish in the top 6, and still draw Argentina and be cooked. Like, with a cooked draw. Like, this all could be for nothing, but also all could be for like a who could we draw? All could be for like a Georgia or an Italy. Like.
It's like Wales, the end of Kingdom of Heaven when they go, Saladin, what does Jerusalem mean to you? And he goes, nothing. And he walks down a bit more and he turns around and he goes, everything. You know, pumps his fist. So that's the yes, great analogy there, Nathan. Nick, over to you.
Exactly what I was about to say.
This is a Jerusalem of Australian rugby.
The Jerusalem. Wait, no, that's the English. Fuck.
And Saladin is Steve Borthwick.
Jesus Christ. Such a good movie though. It's a good point that you raise though, kind of off the back of that. The first thoughts I had, like, there's been a whole bunch of chat from Joe over this tour about a lot of rotation happening, kind of trying to address those fatigue issues. And I think this is how they're going to manage that is particularly notable here because, I mean, off a point that you made earlier, Nathan, I think it was, it was Nick, that the Wallabies in the second half against Japan looked cooked. I agree. I thought they looked pretty lethargic and a bit knackered. And I think that usage and that rotation is going to be pretty critical in this upcoming tour. Nath, out of curiosity, what are your thoughts around where the squad sits in terms of managing this fatigue? So I kind of like asked a couple of questions of a few of the players, and unfortunately, Tom Robertson was basically like, "Yeah, look, it's Joe's just getting nailed. It's about really trying to nail the fundamentals and stuff like that, and there's no big secrets when it comes to player management and player maintenance and player fatigue, rather. Should we be worried about fatigue at this point?
I don't think so. It's one of those things that, yeah, they've had a really tough test season, but I think it was really smart that a bunch of those players got a very good rest period during that Japan game. So a lot of them have been off when they run out of the field on Saturday for basically exactly a month. So at that point, Sulei's, your Jorgensens of the world can actually take a little bit of time off to, rest and recover and hopefully come into this absolutely firing. Do we maybe Italy see a bit more rotation, but I wouldn't rotate that much. There is that also fine balance of making sure they are somewhat game hardened and game tough for two really tough games against France and Ireland to finish the year. So you don't want them coming off essentially one game in 6 weeks before you play these guys. So I wouldn't, in terms of fatigue levels, I wouldn't be that concerned. But yeah, it's you push. I wouldn't be surprised if we sort of get to Super Rugby next year and you see a bunch of those guys maybe take an extended break, where it's miss the first couple of rounds, or come back to pre-season a lot later than everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not wrong there. So let's talk England this weekend. Let's talk about how this match kind of looks at at the moment. At the time of us recording on Wednesday night, there is no Wallaby squad. There is an England squad, which we can talk about, which looks very, very. It looks like actually like a pretty decent squad, and I think while we haven't got the Wallaby squad on hand at the time of us recording, I think that we can make some pretty decent guesses and estimates as to who is probably going to play. Mr. Hartman, how are you feeling going into this particular game?
So, I mean, rattle off who we'll have next week that we don't have this week.
Lenny Ikitau, Tom Hooper, Will Skelton, James O'Connor.
So that's been confirmed that Hooper and Ikitau and O'Connor aren't playing?
Correct.
Yes.
No, what the fuck, man? That's kind of dog.
Basically, we've been stitched up in the sense of England made a deal with the Premiership to be like, give it like we want access to our players at all times. We'll pay you a bunch of money, and they went, yeah, sure. And so England took full advantage of that by going, oh yeah, we'll schedule a game with Australia. It should be sweet. And then without even knowing, we kind of played into the trap by having Ikitau, Hooper, and O'Connor all just signed there in the last like 3 to 4 months, not realizing that. I'm not realizing, but with kind of everyone forgetting that. I don't know what the right word is, but for this game being outside Reg 9, where it's all of a sudden become a problem when, let's face it, when this game is scheduled, I don't think anyone was thinking, oh, Ikitau, Hooper, and O'Connor, where they're going, oh, they'll all be in England, they'll be unavailable. So it was one of those ones where, like, I don't think we had a bunch of those guys when we played in England last year, those like overseas guys. I'm pretty sure Skelton wasn't in the 23. So
yeah, well, he's like never in the team. It feels like
he comes through. Yeah, he comes through when it's good.
Yeah,
but like I think it's one of those ones. It's like exacerbated more because these guys are at Premiership sides rather than if they were at the top 14. I don't think anyone would give a shit. But because they are at English sides, everyone's like, "What? Hang on a minute, why are they allowed and they're not?" Reality is we've been stitched up. We got to live with it.
Yeah. But to go back to the question that was asked of me, yeah, it's hard for me to kind of think of who's missing from the team before the team sheet gets announced and all the new injuries and stuff. But like not good for a couple of reasons, which is, like I said, injuries, people missing. We'll have, I think it'll be like Tane and Hamish. I mean, where's Ben Donaldson? Like, fucking hell. But you got Tane and Hamish Stewart as the fly halves, maybe. You've got, I mean, I imagine Gordon will be starting. I know you got Lonergan behind him. Gordon played 80 last week. If he, God forbid, goes down, Jesus, kind of not having a go at Lonergan, but geez, like you just go, what number choice are we down to here? We would have the fifth choice at the start of the year on the bench, whoever that would be. I mean, Lonergan Thomas
played some fair. Klein Thomas is over there, but like Ryan Lonergan played some fair minutes beforehand. I swear. Like, what did he play in? I swear he
played. But I mean, I'm just saying.
Minutes on debut, like
the opening Bledisloe.
Yeah, no. No. I just mean, if just the amount of injuries, especially in the halves, right?
Yeah.
It's and then to speak of everyone else we're missing. But look, I think Jorgensen will strike fear into their hearts. I think there'll be an element of, we beat these guys as Lions. What does that look like? And the Wallabies might be a bit wiser to their ways. Valentini will be there, which, I mean, he hasn't wowed me since he's come back, but, he's a world-class player, so no doubt he'll wow me again soon. Me sitting on my chair on my computer on a Wednesday night talking about rugby. He's wowing me. But other than that, like, I think front row, type 5 looks fantastic. Pack's probably fantastic, actually. Nothing really there. I think they're all playing well. So, yeah. Yeah, and we haven't been playing well, frankly.
Yeah,
I don't think we've had a good game since Townsville. 5 games ago.
Yeah.
Is that right? No. Yeah. 4 games? 4 games ago. So, like, fuck. I'm not hopeful, but...
I've sort of two thoughts on this because like that idea of we haven't played a good game since Argentina. I wonder how much we are actually suffering the consequences of all these injuries that we've had. Like Tom Wright, and I think Tom Wright being out has been very sort of underestimated how much that was been affecting our attack. And then take McDermott off the bench. Like we would generally have a sort of a finishing kind of group of like Bell, Salcalotto, Gleeson, McDermott, like proper just all out gas. And most of those guys aren't going to be there on the weekend. I think Bell will be starting, so nullifies it. Salcalotto probably plays through, but again, would have probably been nailed up from a rib complaint. But my second point is kind of looking at the England squad. It feels like they have picked a side to combat the side that played at Ellis Park and not the side that's playing right now. It feels like because there is no reason why, in my opinion, why like Genge, Cowan-Dickey, Will Stewart, Pollock, like them going with a 6-2 with Finn Smith as the cover at fly-off. It feels like there's no reason why they should be doing this unless they think they're getting that Wallaby side that is just an absolute explosive unit in the second half, which, again, in the last 4 or 5 games, we haven't really been. We've actually been pretty good starters. So I wonder, like, I wonder if they are playing into our hands by just picking a team that is trying to prepare for an Australian side that has evolved or has sort of tweaked its plan since then. And just sort of, or is it a case of these injuries, as you say, might just be catching up to us, that we can't just put those solid 80-minute performances there because we are down to what could be our third choice 10, our third choice 9, even guys like, if you forget like Noah Alessio's gone still, like there is probably 10 to 12 players unavailable for this game. So it's that sort of, that is what I think is the question that's answered on Sunday is this a case of England preparing for the wrong Wallaby side, or are these Wallabies injuries just far too much for us to handle in terms of depth-wise?
I personally think it's the latter at the moment. Not to say that the Wallabies squad is bad, by the way. Like this whole exercise and has made me realize, there's actually some decent options coming through the ranks here. I mean, we kind of did a mock-up squad of who we think is going to kind of probably be in this starting side. We'll just kind of go. I'll just kind of say it. I think we had Bell, Pollard, Alatoa, Frost, Williams, Valentini, McWright, Wilson in the pack, and then Jake, Gordon, Tane Edmed, probably Dylan Peach, Paisami, Suolihi, Jorgensen, Kellaway in the back line. That's not a bad side by any stretch of the imagination. And then kind of with a bench like with Ross and Tupou and Fezler and maybe, LSL or Champion de Crepney, Lonas, Stewart, Dalgunu. Like there are options there. But I do think though with the England side that they've announced, I think it really leans into a lot of their strengths. I think the big one for me is George Ford at fly half. I mean, when you have 13 caps between Carter Gordon and Tane Edmed, and you're going up against a guy who's a Centurion, that experience is going to make a shit ton of difference. I can't believe that there was even discussions happening that Finn Smith would start. No, in a situation like this, I think experience will do it. And particularly with the aerial game, if they can nullify Suolihi as an effective aerial weapon, which, a few people have really struggled to do, it really changes the game and the combination here as well.
Real weapon?
So
I'd say, yeah.
I just haven't seen him dominate.
Like you look at England 12 months ago, he won 4 restarts by himself. No team has done that from a kickoff in the last 5 to 6 years. He did that individually. Like I think that the issue with our aerial game is a lot of the time they are again kicking away from him, and it's been the other guys that haven't been able to sort of control that facet of the game. So that's the sort of concerning thing. Is you're right. I think George Ford, I'll have a sort of a breakdown come out in the next 24 hours after my own breakdown around the sort of kicking game and just how good George Ford is compared to everybody else. But you also have Freddie Stewart at fullback, who's again excellent under a high ball, and Tommy Freeman, who's a winger playing centre. It's so obvious, in my opinion, that's just going to be a goddamn bombardment. And it's how we sort of handle it, and sort of dealing with how we sort of implement it with Suoliti, and maybe even have sort of like a Potter in there on the wing if Peach doesn't play. So yeah, it's the George Ford selection sort of makes sense. It's very much sort of leans you into what they're going to do here. It's just going to be a bunch of kicking, and God, I hope we can show some clean hands under the ball.
Yeah. I do think in terms of the actual like pack where we can match them, my big, really the biggest concern I have, like even in the centers, I'm not like obviously Paisami and Suoliti haven't played a lot together. I'm assuming that's the combination they're going to go with, which doesn't work well when you've got which is a down not as positive, but when you have Dingwall and Freeman who have both played at Northampton together, adding that combination together, you've got to try out in terms of with Ikitau out. I think it makes sense. You've got to do Paisami and Suoliti and just hope that they get more game time. It's like that's just the reality of the cards in front of us. Funnily enough, the other place where I'm a little bit concerned, I mean, I think we're okay in the back three. Aside from kind of the aerial game, which is why I was kind of tempted to go for someone like a Peach on one side or a Jorgensen, because I think they're a little bit stronger in the air, especially in comparison to someone like a Corey Toole, who just isn't as big a body, who can be competitive under the high ball. The one I'm concerned about is particularly that is the bench, and most specifically somewhere like in the locks. I'm just assuming they have to pick Frost and Williams. They have to pick the law firm for the starting side, because I don't see Swain, who's being called in as a draft as an emergency cover, getting through this, coming straight into the bench side for this. I think it would probably be a situation where Salakai Loto has to inject some minutes off the bench, and if he has a rib complaint, realistically that's probably him done for the season after this if he's actually injured. When you have someone like Cooper and Thornton coming back in afterwards.
You don't know. Like, it's one of those things with a rib thing. You can needle that up, and if it's cartilage, it's not that bad. Like, I think the fact that he stayed on means that it's probably is that. So it's a pain management thing.
Christie said he was going to start today.
I wouldn't start him personally. I would have him off the bench just for impact.
Yeah, but I mean, unfortunately, Nick, for all of us, you are not making the decision for the Wallabies. But that Christy said that's what Schmidt was going to do.
Look,
so we'll have to wait and see when the team gets. I have to wait and see when the team gets named at the early hours of them. It's not early. I think it's like midnight.
Midnight. It's so disappointing.
Midnight.
Like England. Like did South Africa almost. They named their team ages ago.
Yeah, but they also named at 1 a.m. Like,
oh yeah, because that's their time. But still,
Yeah,
it's not so much the time, but it's like, I mean, for us, that's all. I'm just got a bit of feedback. That's all.
Yeah, but remember what happened when South Africa named their squad so early? We won.
Yeah.
That's so true, Nick. Never thought of it that way, huh?
Yeah, think about it that way. And if you have the chance to think about it some more, think about it like that. That's what
Thank you. Okay.
You're welcome. Let's ask who do we reckon is going to win? Serious question. Who do we reckon is going to win this game? Is Nathan?
Heart says Australia, head says England. I think there's got to be some confidence taking out of that Lions tour and just how far we pushed them. Not only that, but most of these England stars aren't going to be all of a sudden unfamiliar with these Wallabies guys. They're going to know they would have scouted them for the best part of 6 weeks. But I just concerned the injuries are too much. Like, the injuries are one thing, but not having Ikitau, Hooper, Skelton, O'Connor just might tip in England's favour.
Yeah, I'm very much in the same headspace as well. Like, just I think this is the hardest game on this whole tour for the Wallabies to win. Mr. Hartman, do you have a differing opinion?
No. No. Yeah, it's gonna. Will it be the hardest one? Yeah, good question. I mean, I'm not really familiar with the Northern Hemisphere teams, but yeah. What Nathan said. Hart says Australia. I think Nick, you'd probably be the only one who doesn't say Hart says Australia, mine says England, because you'd say Hart says England, mine says England. You traitor. Oh, no, did you lose me?
Yeah,
Convenient.
I did.
Go on, you traitor.
I did lose you.
Oh, I said, I'd say you said, you'd say head says England, heart says England.
How dare you? How very dare you?
I just don't know how you Brumby fans
absolutely
think.
Like what? You think Brumby fans are fans of England? Get the fuck out of here!
I'm just saying. I don't know. Some part of this doesn't make sense to me.
This is a
Nathan, you would agree, right?
accusation.
Look, we can't be certain. He's got to prove it right now. Go on.
Yeah.
You basically you want me to say that my heart says Australia, but my head says England.
No,
well,
yeah,
I mean,
you can also say your head says Australia as well.
Yeah,
I mean, I think we'll definitely be competitive, and I think we've got a pretty decent starting 15 side. So I think it's going to be a very, very tight game. Will we repeat the antics of last year? Fuck, it'd be good if we did.
Fence sitting. Couldn't even give us an answer.
Yeah, pathetic.
Well, on this bombshell, shall we talk about other games we're excited for this upcoming November series? So away from the Wallabies matches. Because
I have no idea what's going on, Nick. Give me a second. You know who will have to visit, or I'll have to visit? A little friend, Wikipedia.
Oh, you could have just said rugby.com.au. Come on. While you look at
the writing on there is shit and full of errors.
That's just Nick's copy, not mine. Let me start off with a couple of games. I think it starts this week. New Zealand, Ireland. I think that is always a game that has just delivered some absolute cracking results. Ever since Ireland sort of broke through for that win, I think they've just been unreal in terms of taking it to the Kiwis and really just causing them a bit of strife. I mean, while on the Irish, them playing South Africa, that could be legitimately 1v2 and a match that I will very much like to see, just to see who enters this World Cup this World Cup draw as the team to beat. And yeah, I'd say anything involving Argentina, because they're just the fun side that just throw out chaos.
Are you just going to take everything? Fuck.
Yeah. Hey, you can agree with me. That's fine.
I do agree with you. I do think that those games are amazing. I also want to throw into the hat, throw myself into the ring and say any Scotland game as well, because they're also in the mix for a top 6 finish. And they've got they've got the USA, they've got the All Blacks, they've got Argentina. I think that match between Scotland and Argentina is going to have as much of an impact. It's got enough in it to have as much of an impact on the Wallabies as arguably some of the Wallabies games as well. And then they finished that up with a game against Tonga. So keeping an eye on the Scotland games too. I want to also just throw in a contingent in the mix there. France versus South Africa at Stade de France. That has the makings of some quality match there, I think. I mean, I know France have been dealing with a couple of injury issues and injury concerns of their own, but Les Bleus at Stade de France. Jesus Christ. Les Bleus at Stade de France.
Pronunciation.
Correct. Well done. It's the truth. I don't get Aviva and Avia wrong. I say shit correct even when it's at 1 o'clock in the morning.
I still remember when you said Worcestershire sauce wrong.
What?
My name's Nick. I can read. I can speak well, but I need editor to fix up all my copy.
So do you, bitch. This is why we
Actually, I can say that because I need you to fix up my copy as well.
Yeah, it's true. You the amount of times I've had to put in freaking full stops, and the amount of times you forget to publish. God dang it, Hartman.
That's your job. It's called a sub and pub for a reason.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so before we get too deep down the rabbit hole of
can I just make one more point?
What?
No. One more point. It's not related to rugby on you, I swear. I love the All Black Scotland game because it continues one of the best sort of records or best stats in that if you look at the best unbeaten sequence at one venue, it's the All Blacks at Eden Park, England at Twickenham, like in the early 2000s, Georgia at some random stadium, and then it's the All Blacks at Murrayfield.
Which is so funny.
It's so funny that in the top 5 is the All Blacks at opposition ground, and it's Scotland, which again, Murrayfield, generally one of the harder places to win for teams, and the All Blacks just have never lost there in 110 years. It's mental. I love it.
I still can't believe Scotland haven't beaten them. I still can't believe it. It's such a strange... Even fucking Wales have beaten them. I mean, granted, it was back in 1953, but they still have beaten them, which really says a lot. Speaking of Wales, I'm quite curious as to how their fixtures are going to go with new coach. Probably, a couple of changes in the squad. I'm very curious to see how they're going to go because talk about starting from the ground up because there's been so much news coming out of Wales how they're going to replace, get rid of a franchise, change. There's a whole shake up and change up happening. There might be a players' strike, which might impact that game against the All Blacks. We don't know, but one to watch. The Welsh, particularly, just considering they seem to be the Northern Hemisphere. Whenever I thought, things in Australia couldn't get any worse, then I see what's going on in Wales, and I go, you know what? We're not the actual worst in the world right now. It's poor old bloody Wales who are dealing with, seems like, every single issue under the sun.
Also, it could be really funny because if they get beat by Japan and get knocked into Tier 3 and we go to Tier 1, we could draw Australia, Fiji, Wales in a World Cup again.
Yeah. Sorry, Mr. Hartman, you've had the chance to look over.
I have had the chance. So I have 2 things for you. Actually, I have 3. So the first one I'll go for is I'm keen to watch Italy game because I'm actually big fans of their centre pairing. Brex and Menoncello. They are fucking awesome. Then they have 2 Australian wingers. They used to. Monte Ione and Louis Liner.
Yeah.
And then they've got Ange Capuozzo, who is one of the best fullbacks in the world. He scored that worldie against Wales. If I think it was against Wales a couple of years ago. I'm keen to watch them. Although we're playing them at 4 a.m, so maybe fuck that. Ireland Japan. Shout out to Ireland Japan on the 8th of November. So next Saturday, because that's played at 11:30 p.m. So we can actually watch that Sydney time, of course, official Super Rugby time.
East Coast Elite time.
Great, yeah, East Coast Elite time. Italy South Africa is also at 11:30 on the 15th. So that'll be cool to watch. Easy watching. Italy will be playing Chile on the 23rd of November at 7 a.m.
I'm so excited for that game. That's a good shout.
So, that would be sick.
I think that was supposed to be Italy Samoa, and then Samoa stuffed up their World Cup qualifying. So now they've got to go to Dubai for that to try and sneak in as the last team.
Speaking of that, that's my second point. The repechage is happening at the same time. So the repechage is Belgium, Brazil, Namibia, and Samoa, or Samoa, as we say now. To qualify for the World Cup. And whoever wins, they play each other once, and then whoever is top of the table qualifies. So that will be sick. You'd expect Samoa to trounce it. And, if they don't, I'd expect Phil Ward to go to Albo with his hands out and, give us money before the Chinese Rugby Union does. The famous Chinese Rugby Union gives money to Samoa and Tonga. Just how PVL went to Albo and got PNG bucks. So, yeah, that'd be exciting to see. Brazil's in. I love this like tier 2 rugby stuff. I love it. I'm such a big fan. Brazil were actually beaten by Paraguay in the South American qualifiers, actually quite convincingly. And I think last year Brazil beat Paraguay by like 60 points or something. So huge turnaround from Paraguay. And then Paraguay have played some guy who was ineligible.
Romaro Amarilla, thank you. I want to just shout out Paul Tate for providing me the clarification on this one. That Paraguay apparently used dated residency criteria of three years rather than 5, which means Amarilla played in every game for them, but as a result was actually not eligible.
Is he from Argentina?
I believe so, but
Probably.
At some point he even captained them against Chile. So that kind of gives you a sense of how regular he is.
That's fucking nuts, man. It sucks. And you feel like if you're Brazil, you cheated. Like you might as well just not send a team there. So anyway,
also,
yeah.
I love this exact same thing happened to Spain in 2023. They just keep fucking this up. Just
and
one team in the World Cup process. And 2019, yeah. It's one of the like few things you can guarantee is one of these teams somehow fucking up and in like what player is eligible or not. It's perfect.
I remember some guy I knew played Shoot Shield, and he said Cuba rang him up and said, "Do you want to come play for Cuba?" He had no connection to Cuba whatsoever. So it's kind of funny how that kind of stuff happens.
Like not even a family connection, just like randomly got a call from Fidel, just saying, "Come over and play."
Hey, buddy.
Yeah. No.
Is that a $1 trillion bill?
What $1 trillion bill? So yeah, they'll be sick to watch. And the third thing I want to say is I love, and honestly I do, I really love how the Autumn Nation series now feels a bit more organized. So it has this feel to it where like it's got this branding. It's actually called Autumn Nation series now. It has this branding. If you go on like Stan's site to look up the fixtures in Australian time, which I just did, it's all called the, some, I don't know, the Toyota Autumn series, whatever. And I think it's really cool. And I'm actually really kind of excited to, Quilt, I mean, whatever that is. It's really exciting to see that kind of come through, that better organization, because it's the best part about rugby, I think, is just all these nations. And you see these nations that don't have these pro setups, but just love playing rugby and would do anything to go to a World Cup. And I know Uruguay's pro, for example, but they love every minute. Chile, like there is somewhere in the Vatican a Chile rugby shirt because the Chilean president went to the Pope not long after they qualified and gave him a shirt. Like, isn't that nuts?
That's awesome.
What a fun fact.
That's a cool fact.
Yeah. And plus, some of them have ripping kits. I'm a fan of a ripping kit. Like Zimbabwe's green and white hoops will be, amazing. I love it every second. And for me, the best kit clash, the best teams and kits to play each other are French playing in their French flag outfit versus Argentina.
That would be kind of funny.
Please.
Licks my lips. So that's my roundup there, Nick.
A most wonderful roundup, and I think a pretty solid way to end a pretty interesting preview of what this upcoming.
Wait, actually, I'll give you the thing. I reckon it'll be the shittest game. This should be our little thing. We're the shittest game that's on. I saw someone. Munster versus Argentina 15. That sounds pretty shit.
Nah, it's going to be any game with an Argentina. Like, that Argentina side is going to be full of 2 or 3 sevens guys that are just going to go out there and pull out some absolute bullshit. Like, we can't watch it anywhere, but I just know there's going to be
Portugal's playing Uruguay.
Are you serious?
I'm not going to say that. Yeah, I'm saying that's
amazing.
No,
that's
that's
pretty
lit.
cool. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I'm
Well,
talking
Wales versus Argentina,
UK Armed Forces versus Germany.
I'm a fan of that. Portugal, Hong Kong. Now there is a bloody black horse of a game, being refed by Holly Davidson. So female ref.
Shout out Holly Davidson. She's also, I think she's doing New Zealand, Scotland. I want to say she's doing one of the New Zealand games.
Yeah, yeah. She. Oh no, Nick Berry's doing it.
Oh, then what?
James Dolman is doing. James Dolman's doing Portugal Uruguay. So all the players might decide to kill themselves after that game. Who knows?
Legend. It was Wales. Sorry, Wales New Zealand is what Holly's doing, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Very
cool.
Spain Fiji low key banger. That'll be great.
I just find it funny that Wales don't want to. Wales do never want to play Fiji ever again.
No, we don't mention the war.
Okay, actually, I've got it. Wales, South Africa, because that's outside the window.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. If Wales are on strike at that point, and South Africa are without all their stars, which again they probably still have them because Japan rugby just don't really care. That could be the game where you just like, or also counterpoint. That is the only game. So we're going to look at that game being like, we need some rugby before we go into summer break. we're gonna hype that game up.
The Ashes will be on by then.
True, but if we get rolled 1-0, say we get rolled 1-0 in the first game.
Yeah,
I'll be like glad. I'll be glad that there's some competition.
Exactly.
What for? Who's going to get flogged more?
Oh, what you mean, us, or are we talking cricket?
I'm talking like if we get flogged in the first game of the Ashes, we'll be like, well, it could be worse. It could be Wales playing South Africa.
Yeah.
We've
lost him.
Yeah, you've lost me. I was talking cricket.
Yeah.
I thought if we lost 1-0 in the Ashes. Yes?
Yeah.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I was saying that.
I'm with you.
Yeah, because Ashes is going to be 5-0. Fuck off. We all know that.
Yeah.
Honestly, the only thing standing in our way is the SCG pitch carking it again.
Or rain.
Or rain.
Yeah. But we're not a cricket podcast or a rugby podcast.
We're not, but I think the moral of this entire last couple of minutes is there are some really good like banging tier 2 games that are on. That if we can get a way to watch it, it's going to be lit.
Yeah.
There's going to be some great like 10-15 minute highlight games that you can watch on like a Sunday and just be like, hell yeah, brother.
Well, I think the only kind of tier 2 games I can see Stan holding are Italy, Chile. No offense. Like Italy, don't mean that, but like Chile is very tier 2, and Wales and Japan.
Yeah, they've got Wales and Japan. They've got Italy, Chile. Yeah, that might be the only ones. That's right. We'll fire up
tier 2, and we got nothing out of that.
We'll fire up an illegal stream for the others. It's fine.
Yeah, fire VPN.
VPN goes hard. Surely someone on YouTube is streaming the rest of those games.
Nick, do you have anything else to talk about? Because I've got a bit of a question for you.
We were done, but I always allow now extra time for Nick Hartman's rabbit hole. That's what we always do.
It is a pretty good one. It's a pretty good one. So fun fact, actually, when rugby was getting started, there was at the time a kind of the cool thing was calling your sports team after flowers or insects. That's why like there's wasps, RIP, or the England of the Red Roses, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of changed. Obviously, it's wallaby. Like animals. But on the flower thing, like just shout out to Japan. I love their three little pink flowers. It's a really cool logo. I really like it. And then, but during the rugby championship, I noticed that 3 of the 4 logos are yellow or orange animals. Springboks, Puma,
that's
Wallabies. So my question to you guys is, what's your favorite national rugby team logo?
Good question. I like the Spanish. Spanish is like a lion. And it's like, it looks very proud.
I know the one. Yeah.
Very.
Rugby logo. Yeah, here we go. Spanish. Yeah. That's a cool one. Very Art Deco.
Yeah, it fits the Spanish vibe.
I've just googled it and I'm getting the rugby league logo and it looks like shit as well.
Oh, actually, no. Can I change mine?
Yeah, you can.
Look up the Mexican rugby logo.
Why'd you just look up Mexican? Like that is crazy.
No, because it comes up on Robo.com.
That is sick. That is sick.
That's the correct answer. Google it if
Serpientes.
Google it yourself, and you'll be with me.
That one's pretty good. It's
the serpentine.
It's an Aztec-looking serpent with two heads, and it's green and red. That is amazing. But Nick, you can't say Mexican serpientes.
I was gonna throw my hat in the ring in a similar way and actually say Hong Kong's looks alright. It's a dragon. It's a Chinese dragon, which is pretty cool. Hong Kong Rugby Union.
Hang on, let us look it up. This is great. I mean, for us, this is actually I'm really enjoying this. For people listening,
yeah, it just this qualifies entertainment in a podcast, in an audio setting.
We have put out so much worse questions than this. Come on,
yeah,
people have Google. People can multitask. They can look it up themselves.
Yeah. You can multitask while the podcast is happening in the background. There we go.
Yeah. I'm trying to hang on. Where's a good place to see all these logos?
Probably Wikipedia. I will say I do want to share the Condors, Chile.
Yeah, get behind that.
The Condor is pretty cool.
What about if we're going club side, the Capybaras?
Capybara.
Yes, I love the capybara.
Yes,
Capybara. Balls deep in the capybaras.
And I'm pulling up this Hong Kong rugby logo. Pull it up, Jamie.
I want to.
That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
Yeah. I'll finish with in terms of top tier 1 nation. The ones in. I mean, my natural answer is to go to the Wallabies, but in terms of because I can't go to the Wallabies, it's got to be the Pumas. It's got to be the Puma.
I really like the Springbok one.
Springbok's pretty cool.
Springbok's cool, but there's no Springbok trophy, but there is a Puma trophy. So
there is a Puma trophy.
Who's a real winner?
Yeah. So I'm sorry. Yeah, in terms of tier 1 nations, it's the Puma. It just looks really cool, and I also they've redesigned it now, so it's no longer a leopard. It's actually an actual puma, and I actually think it looks pretty.
Apparently, they were always the leopards or the panthers, and then someone got the animal wrong.
Yeah, well, based on a jaguar.
Wrong. That's crazy.
Yeah. Man, I'm still thinking of that Mexican one. What's my favorite?
It's all right.
What is mine? What is my favorite? The Scottish one is too clever. It is a thistle and a rugby ball. It's too clever. I don't really like it. The French redone one with just the cock is pretty good. The American one, so these are the ones I can just see easily on stand. The American one, it's like an American eagle carrying a rugby ball with the American colours. IFIU, no, not good. England, I mean, it's a pretty good rose, but yuck. Sakura of Japan, pretty good. Italy, just a shield. No. Don't like that one. Puma, I mean, look at that. This is great.
Yeah.
Welsh Rugby Union, that's actually the Prince of Wales's headgear. They're 3 feathers. Yeah. Yeah.
His headgear. You mean his emblem?
Yeah, his plumes. Those 3 plumes are associated with the Prince of Wales.
His plumes.
Yeah. It always comes back to royalty and freaking.
Actually, the condom doesn't look too bad. It just looks a bit old hat. Actually, maybe outside one would be Uruguay's. I think it's just a small little water bird.
Yeah, I do like
It's
the
simple,
I
to
like
the
the
point.
colours.
It's just
Yeah, the
stupid
colors are
little fucking
different.
bird.
Colors are unique.
Yeah, I love the colour combo.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
It'd be great,
colour combo.
if Uruguay and Argentina did their own little bledisloe.
Oh,
I mean, they usually compete. It's usually the Argentina 15 though that competes because they do
Cowards,
like have
just do it.
a regular tournament. Just cowards.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying to- such a good question from me. Good on me.
That's a good question. Yeah.
It's a
Thank
great
you.
question.
Thank you. Have you seen? Okay, actually, I have a Reddit photo of all the logos. I actually sent it to you. Oh, Russia's is hot. Let's talk about this.
The Bears.
You do all your editing here. Yeah, it's like with blank space. The Canadian one is actually quite tight. Brazil Rugby. Jesus. Anyone could do a better one. Oh, so these logos are a bit old, but Chile's old one is sick. Oh, how can we not talk about Paraguay's logo?
Because we're going at a million miles an hour.
Because this is a podcast and no one else can say this.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at Paraguay.
You can just cut it
it's
out.
crocodile. It's an alligator. No, this is staying in because then people like anyone who's listening to this can go and Google it and see which one is the coolest one themselves.
Yeah, no, this is old. This feels old, but shout out the Polish eagle. That's
just poking out.
What's the Austrian? The Austrian is what would you call that thing for rugby Austria?
Oh, mountain goat.
Mountain goat, yeah.
Yeah,
Is
it looks like
goat?
it.
Okay.
The French one is easy. Like, look at that French one.
Is that the Denmark one, which is a dragon? That's sick.
That's pretty cool. Jesus, there's so many. I feel like there's
no way. The Denmark one just says DRU.
Oh yeah, no, I do not know my geography. That's no way. Yeah, no way. One sick.
Check out Monaco's. Monaco's is the one where it says Swiss Rugby below that. The Monaco's is that tiny little one.
Oh, the little red and white one. Okay, that's all right.
Yeah, with the dove or something.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, look at so Algeria's is the only one that actually has goalposts.
Jeez. So it's like the only nation in the world that has goalposts in its.
Yeah, look at it. That's the only one I can see.
Officially the only one.
Officially.
Guys, we got to step up. Not enough goalposts.
Come on.
Okay, talking about birds. Go to see the Springboks one.
Yeah.
Check out those ones down there. So you got Namibia.
Oh, that Botswana goes hard.
Botswana one that slaps. I mean, it's so fucking old. That's been updated since 1985. But geez, look at that.
That looks like it was done in Microsoft Paint.
Yeah, and then look at Zambia's.
You know what? I respect it.
They've absolutely mogged Zambia's.
Between that and Zimbabwe, it's just been absolutely mogged.
Yeah. Look at that beak.
What about Tanzania rocking a giraffe, I think?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Except it looks like an awful Photoshop job.
Still, I respect it.
Good work. Actually, let's see if that was current Tanzania rugby. Let me see. Oh, they've updated it.
Have you got a link?
It looks pretty bad. It still looks pretty bad.
Have you got a link to this Reddit page, Hartman? I'll drop it into
I sent it in the chat. Sorry. I sent it in the chat.
Yes.
Wait, I think I found another one. Hang on. More importantly, I think I found another. I found two other nations that have goalposts. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Where?
Like Central Africa. Towards where Central Africa is, and then to the left. I can't say what they. Cameroon.
Oh yeah, Cameroon do have goalposts.
Yeah, and look, the one left to go.
Oh, yeah. And it's just like a man. It looks like the Falcon.
Yeah,
the Maltese Falcon passing the ball.
Yeah. Look, I reckon. Let's be honest. We're gonna probably go down a rabbit hole after this. I reckon let's stop the pod so we can keep talking about this offline. But for everyone listening, go and check out. I'll include a link to this. I'll include a link to this Reddit post in the description of the pod. Go and check it out, and tell us who you think has the best rugby logo. Because I reckon I'll be curious to see if there is another contender in the mix here.
Malaysia's is pretty cool. Cool little like.
He's still going.
Check out Indonesia. Check out Indonesia.
Or the rhino. Oh, that's nice.
All right, that's it. Let's call it. I'm done. I'm done. All right.
For Philippine volcanoes.
Yeah. boys, contender in more ways than one. If you can find Bahamas, which is go to America, USA Rugby, and you got Florida, the little penis looking thing down the bottom right. There's Bahamas. It's a flamingo.
But I think I found my like. What about the Jamaican crocodile? That goes hard.
That does go hard, but it's just not as good as the flamingo. Look at that. That is. Can you see it, Nick?
Yeah, I can.
Barely.
It's nice. It's a nice flamingo.
I don't know. The Cayman Island turtle does something for me.
It is a turtle.
The Cayman Island turtle.
I don't know. It just speaks to me.
Running the bull. Or the toucans of bloody Colombia. Oh, it gets better and better.